Welcome on in, guys. Tobin here with you, and thanks for checking out the channel. Hope you're doing well there. If you guys could subscribe, that'd be great, and appreciate you stopping by. So, people got in a little bit of a tizzy over the last couple of days because there was an article put out by Bobby Marks, front office insider, salary cap extraordinaire for ESPN. I don't know anybody who doesn't like Bobby Marks. Seems like a completely decent dude. Seems to know the inner workings of things and the mechanisms and the dates. But he basically did this breakdown article about all the pending extension candidates. And there's a lot of them, from, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who's going to be extension eligible, to Trae Young, to Kyrie Irving, to even Joker having an extension coming up. Austin Reeves having an extension coming up. Jaren Jackson Jr., There's a lot of interesting guys who are up for deals. Zion is one of them, but he did a thing here where he basically broke down everybody's extension and then put what to expect. And I thought it was pretty clear that this was just a guess because he's doing a prediction article. But in the world of today's social media, I think it got construed as, that's what's going to happen. And so he got to Tyler Herro and broke down the report. And this is what Bobby Marks wrote. It said, Tyler Herro, eligible to sign his extension October 1st, extension deadline October 20th, which I want to say as an aside, feels like a short window. I don't know if that's odd or not, but I was looking at some of these other ones and I'm like, for example, there's a De'Aaron Fox extension. I know these things have different triggers and whatnot, but De'Aaron Fox's extension, eligible in August, deadline June of next year. But then Luka's extension, he's only got till June 30th. So he's basically got after the NBA finals. Oh, yeah, that's a little weird. That one says after the finals, deadline is June 30th or August 2nd. So I don't know if that's June 30th of this year or 2026 because he has another one 2026. It seems like he's saying 20th of this year. I'm going to assume he meant 2026. It's a typo. Devin Booker, eligible to sign an extension. July 6th, deadline October 20th. So I was confused on Tyler's. Why does Tyler have 3 weeks? That seems like not a lot of time through all this, although they know it's coming. But here's what he writes. Says, Herro made it known after the season that signing an extension in Miami is a priority. Quote, the front office, the organization, the city, everyone who knows how much I love Miami. I've been here since I was 18, 19, got 2 kids here. We all know what Tyler said in the aftermath. Pat Riley doubled down. We reiterated what Tyler said and says, hey, we've talked. He's cool if we do it or don't do it. It said starting October 1st, Herro's eligible for a 3-year, $149.7 million extension. Don't know how much that is news to Heat fans or not, how much you've been paying attention to it. I know it's been a pretty covered topic, but and that would be an extension to the remaining 2 years. He's got $31 million for this upcoming year and a $33 for the year after that. If no agreement is reached before October 20th, Herro will remain eligible to sign a 4-year, $206.9 million extension. He would be Supermax eligible, 5 years, $380 million if he makes all NBA for this season. Herro not only earned his first All-Star appearance, but has consistently put up all NBA caliber numbers for a 4th straight season. Herro averaged at least 20 points, finished 2024-25 with 5 games of at least 35 points. Career best 47.2 shooting from the field, 5.5 assists per game. Stats on the court are outweighed by what is played here on the past, staying healthy. But Herro played a career-high 77 games this season. Miami lost all 5 games that he sat out. So there you go. That's Bobby's whole rundown of it. And then he goes, what to expect? And he goes, guaranteed money once again wins out, as he's broken down throughout the whole piece. And Herro signs a 3-year, $149.7 million extension. So essentially Herro signing 3 years, but it's like it averages out to 50 a year. There'll be different ones where it's lower than higher. You guys get the deal. So anyway, Bobby predicts this. People go nuts because they think it's already in the bag that he's going to sign the extension. It is interesting when you break it down like that. There is an element where the Heat could bet, on Tyler and be like, hey, we're hopeful that this rise of his continues and he stays healthy. And that, cool, he's extended, he's good. We don't got to worry about it for the next 4 years, essentially. Although it is an interesting thing that's happened with extensions and guys signing extensions in this new age, because used to be one of the things that was fun was a guy doesn't sign an extension and is maybe thinking about testing free agency. You'd extend with like a year left and, like a rookie deal. You get to the end of your third year, you're going into your fourth year where you got to then get a qualifying offer, but maybe you sign an extension. That's what happened with Tyler. That's what happened with Bam. They played their seasons and then they got a rookie extension. Now it's become, damn, this guy's got 2 years left on it. Bam's got 2 years left. Tyler's got 2 years left. Now they get an extra 3 years on top of it. And you don't want to ruffle any feathers because you never are in the spot where like you ever want to lose anybody for nothing. And obviously the Heat just had the worst case of it because they had Jimmy Butler with 2 years guaranteed. One of them was his option. And he wanted an extra year just to have that guaranteed little sweetener. So the Heat are going to be at this spot with Tyler where it's like, all right, do we think this is going to plague us in guaranteeing his seasons? It's an interesting spot because, yeah, maybe Tyler does have a really good year this year. And is there a shot he could make All-NBA? That'd be a hell of a leap. I don't expect Tyler Herro to be an All-NBA player, to be one of the top 15 players in the NBA that he would get voted that. But I'm not going to completely rule it out. He was an All-Star this year. And if there was a little improvement around him, and he did have a little bit more support on offense, would that grow him even more? Would that help him to have an even better season around him? Maybe even if the counting stance went around, but it led to being on bigger stages and have more culture. Because he did knock off a big thing last year with the durability. There's no doubt about that. Him getting through a season was huge. It was a big question mark for him. The other part of it, though, and the thing that Bobby didn't put in there because, but it is a big part of the deal, is the Heat getting waxed the way that they did. And him once again being a guy who was kind of called out in the series, didn't perform to his capabilities and to his best again on the postseason stage the way that he did. Are the Heat just going to reward that in this 3-week window and be like, yep, definitely he's going to be one of our top 2 highest paid guys? And I've always thought, in my eyes, this is an interesting question for the Heat, right? I talked in the other video today, you guys can go check it out, about where they're at right now and the moves that they may be able to make. And from my standpoint, you do always want to keep that element of flexibility if you can. If Tyler Herro is truly in a spot where he's good with it and this isn't going to be a problem, which I don't think he will, I don't know, but I think Tyler Herro does genuinely like it down here, doesn't want to go anywhere. I think he knows, like, this is his. I think he believes that if he's going to be the face of a franchise guy, this is going to be the franchise where he does it. So I don't think there's going to be this eagerness if he doesn't get the extension that he's going to make a stink. I do take him at his word. Tyler's pretty rock solid with that stuff, and I think Pat hears that too. I don't think they're going to have a guy who's going to make a stink. If the Heat are able to land a real piece, whatever it is, I don't want to put a player on it right now, but something that looks like it's going to move the needle, then I'm fine with the Heat extending Tyler Herro because you have your other piece in the fold. Because I'm not terrified of the idea that if the Heat really do hit the end of the line with Bam and Tyler, I don't think they're players. I could be wrong about this, but I don't think they're players where trading that contract is going to be sickening to somebody. Like, if they get to a place where, like, hey, the Bam Tyler thing's over, is anybody going to take Bam off their hands? I think somebody would. Like, I think you look around the league, right? Like, look at all the people flirting, all the fan bases flirting, trying to get Bam Adebayo here. With the Lakers, the Knicks fans, you put your sick, filthy Photoshops away. Get your dirty paws away from the Heat roster. And stop with your Spotex, too. You carnival barkers. Sick of seeing that. But, yeah, part of it is when you sign these things, you're like, all right, well, how bad is this going to be? Now, if Tyler ends up having durability issues again, then, yeah, maybe you could be screwed, and you would almost want to be like, hey, you're on the hook for a few years. There's that risk. There's certainly the risk of, hey, you're eligible. If Tyler did by all means win all NBA, then you're like really in a spot where it's like, whoa, that's a big deal you got to give the guy. But I'd imagine an all NBA Tyler Herro, I'd be very curious to see what level of Heat team does that go to. So if the Heat end up getting a Durant or somehow a Giannis and Tyler's still on the roster, which I'd imagine he would be, then I would be okay with the Heat extending him to the 3-year extension. I think that's okay. If they don't get anybody, then I think it's like, hey, we're replotting the course for 2026. And we'll figure all that out. This is going to be your test. Go hog wild. Maybe there's a minor move here and there. This is a reset season. So I do think in some elements the Heat are going to hone it back a little bit. When Bobby says he expects him to sign it, I get the expectation there because you feel like the Heat are going to do right by Tyler. But I think that's still up in the air, and I think Tyler seems okay with it. But I don't think anything's been decided yet. I think too much is unknown about where the summer's going to go yet, and where it's going to end up for them to even have that decision. But clearly they're going to have to do it quick once they get to that window because they basically got October to do it.